Welcome back to Transaction Care. My name is Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lily. And we're going to talk about books in this episode. I grew to love reading over the years, mostly in my later adult years, in my 30s, like late 30s, mid to late 30s. And being self-employed, I've really embraced the benefits of reading. And whether it was an audiobook, a physical book, it's something that I do now. As someone that was not an avid reader, that hated reading, for me to do videos like this or podcast episodes talking about books that I've read, I'm not going to hold you. It's a bit of a flex for me, but this is not about me. This is about you. And there are a couple of books that I want to mention that have definitely helped me over the course of my time being self-employed and just an overall evolution of me and how I've overcome many obstacles in my life, whether it was business related, personal life with family, friend relationship dynamics, learning how to be disciplined, learning how to be patient. Now, some things you can't read about and it clicks right away, but knowing that there's language for this has really helped me to make this journey less daunting, less frightening, less exhausting, if you will. But it does take the effort and the work and the time to invest in reading these books and applying it. It's the application. That's where all of my growth has, stemmed from, is applying what I've read. Even when I effed up and did it wrong or lost money or didn't make any money, it was through that I really now I have all of this data and information that I can carry on into my life. But I yapped on for too long. Right off the top of my head, the first book that comes to mind that I implemented to the core this entire year was the 12-week year. Now, this was the second time I applied it. And the first go around, it helped me to launch my podcast, which #grateful. Then 2 years later, I reread it, which was in 2024. But this time I spent about 2 to 3 months reading it. It's an easy read, but I didn't just read it for the sake of getting it over with. I read it with the intention of applying it, taking action. And I've mentioned this before here on this channel, but the 12-week year gave me the structure that I was lacking because I was not a systems person. I was not a structure person. And you would think I would be, considering I'm a transaction coordinator, but it was easy for me to apply it in TCing, but it was difficult to apply it into being a business owner, being a person and a grown adult. And as much as I was running away from structure is what made me a better person. Oddly, I think it was just what was rooted in that word structure and systems that scared me. And that was discovered through all of the other books that I've read over the years, like The 4 Agreements, The War of Art, Sober Entrepreneur, The 4-Hour Work Week, Crush It. I mean, these are just a few books that I've read over the course of being at a 9-to-5, being self-employed, to now continuing to evolve and truly know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Get Good with Money. I'll Teach You How to Be Rich. Those are some money books that I've read. Money Master the Game. That was a thick book. It took me a few months to read that one, but that taught me discipline. As many money mindset tips and rich people that Tony Robbins interviewed in that book, sitting with that book for as long as it took me to read, because I'm not a quick reader, taught me discipline because I committed to it. I committed to reading that book, even if it was 1 page a day, 20 pages a day, 50 pages a day. I committed and I read it. And that led me to being disciplined with renewing my real estate license. Reading Money Master the Game, yes, it taught me money principles. It inspired me, right? But alongside that discipline, it led me surprisingly to this book that shocked me, literally shocked the hell out of me. and brought the heaven into me, but is the Bible. Now don't leave, don't leave. This is not about me popping off with, you got to be this religion, you got to read the Bible. The Bible is going to find you if it's meant for you. And I'm still early in my journey. Full transparency, this video is pre-recorded early in the year, so I'm still very fresh in my walk with the Bible that I keep right next to me, but I also keep my journal, my devotionals, and a notebook, because it's all about convenience. And a part of being disciplined is just making it easy for myself to access whatever it is. And I always made it a goal for myself to read at least one book a year. I would try to do too much and try to read a book every month, but that just became impossible unless I did it in the audiobook. But even then, I wasn't really fully comprehending what I was hearing, because I'd be doing dishes or I'd be auditing a file, and then I would hear the voices, but it would mostly be like a mumbling because I'm so focused on the file. So I had to find what works for me, and I just committed to one book a year. And in 2025, it happened to be the Bible. So I'm still in the process of reading the entire Bible, and the principles and the stories and the lessons that I've taken from that filled all of the gaps, but also made me realize that a lot of the principles that are within these self-help books, these money books, these stories are rooted in stories in the Bible. So I felt like it was important in my walk of faith to read the Bible, and it has been a game changer. It is harsh. It is a difficult read sometimes, but I finally gotten to a point where it's just different. It's just different this time. So I do suggest the Bible. And if you're someone that doesn't believe or agree, read it anyway, because at least now, if you do have an argument against it, you can actually reference it with what's in the Word. But I truly believe that there is value in reading the Bible, whether you are Christian, Catholic, whatever your religion. I don't judge. Or if you're atheist. If I'm willing to give Tony Robbins a chance and read his 600, 700 page book, why can't I give God a chance? Just saying. But there are so many books, and I have so many books in my audio library that I haven't read yet. But I do encourage you to think of some areas of your life that you're lacking, and then just read those books. Read one book in those areas that can help you improve. I used to read them on my lunch breaks when I worked at my 9 to 5. Now I have my office here, and I just sit and I add it to my calendar, read. And I have a time block. And if there are days when I'm it's hard for me to focus, then I just read what I can. I don't put pressure on myself to read for the sake of reading, because I want to get the message so I can apply it in my life. And I might read something from last year and it might hit me today like, oh my God, the Budgetnista was talking about this in her book, or Ramit Sethi was talking about credit cards, and now I'm in that spot now where I need to go call the bank and renegotiate interest rates or whatever the case may be, or whatever, insert entrepreneur here said, do this do this 7 times a day to help your business, make 50 calls a day, whatever the case. It's like, sometimes the messages hit you, but it's helpful to have the language and the resources and the knowledge. And I'm not opposed to rereading books again. Like I said, I read the 12-week year twice, and it will probably be a book that I revisit every couple of years. Atomic Habits was like that stepping stone to get to the 12-week year. So that's another book I always recommend people to read. Kind of like a starter packet is Atomic Habits, the 12-week year. And then you can start branching out into other areas of self-help or mental health, whatever the case may be. Even if you're just reading the dictionary, I just think the habit of reading is so helpful, and it helps you as a person, because had I not practiced discipline in reading, in reading difficult, big books that I would normally avoid, renewing my real estate license would have been hell. because I read every single page of every course that was offered. And that was by choice. I didn't have to, but it was by choice, because I knew I was capable of doing it. And if I wanted to prove to myself that I was capable, I was going to sit and endure that. And I'm glad I did, because it proved that I can do hard things. So don't feel bad if you read a book and you don't understand it right away. Because like I said, chapter 1 may help you today, but chapter 6 might help you 10 years from now. So just keep the resources available to you, reread things, but do your best to finish a book this year. Give yourself a chance. Let me know what book you do read, what books you have read, what books you recommend. I always get book recommendations from my email supporters. So that's kind of cool. So anytime I get like an Audible credit, I'll download the book, and whenever I'm done reading said book, I move on to the suggested book. And that's something I'm so grateful to be in this place now where I enjoy reading, and I don't mind just sitting back, and that's become a hobby of mine. It's become fun. And I don't even know. I think because I was going to say, I don't know where it came from. 1, God. But 2, I think I just started to love and like myself a lot more, and seeing how reading has helped me and is also a form of escapism. And because I love giving myself chances to just be, and reading does that for me, I think that was what finally clicked when it came to becoming a reader. I had to become a reader, and not let being a slow reader, not being a reader that doesn't fully comprehend all the time, get in the way of that. Or a reader that falls asleep in the middle of reading. I had to not let that stop me and be an excuse anymore. So shout out to reading, shout out to the reading rainbow. I used to hate that song. Once Mr. Rogers was done and Reading Rainbow came on, I'd sit through the song and then I turn it to like something else, like Saved by the Bell or American Gladiators. But anyway, I'm done yapping for this session. Thank you again for watching. My name is Lillian Hernandez, and please drop your book recommendations in the comments. I truly will, take them to heart, check them out, or maybe those within the community will benefit as well. So I appreciate you all for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. And until the next video, care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon. Hey, you want to learn more about business, real estate, mindset? Click on any one of these videos. Double tap my face to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you.